Yes, yes. What's the word? What's the word? What's the word? You tuned in to Knock 'em Out the Box, episode 98.
98.
My name is Vinnie Paz. I'm here with my co-host with the co-most, the Mr. Majestic left, right, left kid, Mr. Brandon Long. What's the word, kid?
Chilling, bro. What's up, man?
Irish Billy
you
in the
doing?
building. He's not, he took a couple weeks off. This show clearly can't stay off of vacation because apparently this Brandon Long is going on a vacation next week. So I got to hold down the fort. Dolo. What do you think about that, Billy?
I mean, it's episode 99, and he's gonna,
right?
not
It's
be
like,
here.
It's like
99,
almost
99 problems.
Right,
but
the
show
B
ain't
ain't one.
Yeah. William of Ireland.
It's almost as bad as missing 100.
I might just miss 100 then. I might go on strike.
Mm-hmm.
Mutiny.
This Billy doesn't raise
Mutiny
my
on the
pay.
bounty.
If I don't get my raise from this Billy.
Wait, who's on strike here? The longshoremen? Everyone's up in arms that we're not going to get our food.
Yeah,
right?
We're screwed.
Oh, you guys are on strike down there?
The longshoremen, Pete Rose is dead. Deke is dead. I mean, what is going on here? I thought this Irish Billy, this Irish William was supposed to bring the luck of the Irish.
Christopherson died.
But yeah, it comes in threes, right? Chris Christopherson, Dikembe, Pete Rose.
That all happened today?
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday and today.
Wow.
I didn't realize Mutombo had brain cancer. I didn't realize that.
He just was silently, doing whatever doing it and still helping.
He had
the whole continent of Africa,
a tumor removed 2 years ago, I read.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Couldn't be the as we were talking about off air, fellas, could not be more diametrically opposed views on the two gentlemen, Dikembe Mutombo and Pete Rose.
Yeah.
Most at least the Philly people, on like my thing,
right.
Or like, this guy was a real fucking piece of shit, but we wouldn't have won an 80 without him. Like, wow, yeah, well, all right. But like you spoke about, you said, did you see the documentary? And I said, which one? There's been a bunch. You're like, well, the most recent one's brutal. That's probably why people are so
riled up. It's pretty.
So,
you get a like chance to watch it. It's amazing to watch it. In that his work ethic was insane, but most of those guys. I heard a great quote the other day. That athletes. It was by a sports writer, and he said, basically, like athletes spend their whole lives honing this one skill to be successful. So they never grow up. They remain
in any other aspect of your life.
Right. They remain 15 years old.
Yeah, it's arrested development in every way outside of what you're doing.
Outside of what you're doing.
I just want to say, and Billy will back me up, like it was never, the love for Pete Rose in Philly is real, but it was never about him as a man, the way it is with other people. Like Deke was a great person. He died a great man. He helped out a whole continent, 2 continents between here and Africa.
Right.
He will and should be remembered that way. The thing here was like, all right, Pete did low life shit, but he should be in the hall. Like, you want me to start reeling on people that are low lives, that are athletes? We can just do a show on that. You know what I'm saying?
Especially accept the low life athlete in Philadelphia.
There was a place for Pete to rest his head. It's Philly. But I didn't feel the need to say that when I did my Pete Rose eulogy on my little thing. You know what I'm saying? Like 3-time World Series winner, greatest hitter of all time, in my opinion. People will say Ted Williams. He's the greatest ever to me. Most hits of all time. You know what I mean? So if you're not talking about Pete being a good person, I have no problem. But we never said that. I don't know how Cincinnati looks at him. We're the 2 cities where he's
from there. I think they look at him fondly.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I Billy, wouldn't you say we look at him fondly? But as a player,
I mean, he wasn't liked by his peers in baseball.
He was a creep. He was a notorious creep. In the Italian sense of the word, a creep.
Right. Yeah, he famously ruined guys' careers in like an all-star game. Fucking taking people out. But yeah, Pete Rose, 4,000 it'll over 4,000 hits, it'll never be matched.
Never, ever. You'll never see another player like him. Okay, so earlier, Billy, you know about this guy. Deontay Wilder, who fought Fury 3 times, and then so B and I saw this video of him. B, can you explain where he is actually? He's in a suit.
Looks like he's lost in an airport.
Okay. To me, it looked like he was lost at a wedding. I'm certainly not making a joke of what we're about to talk about. Bill, he looks like a late in life Ali as far as Parkinson's.
Really?
He's a heavyweight who was a very light heavyweight. Like he would come in 215, 220, whereas like Fury and these big guys you see, these guys are 260, 270. So he's always like a tall, thin frame. Billy, he's got to look 170 pounds in this video. And he's fucking doesn't seem to know where he's at, and he's shaking.
Yeah, you know what? I'm looking at it now, Vin. It looks like a dressing room or something. There's cameras on him.
It looked to me
backstage
like
at a fight.
Okay, B, you know when like you know when your wedding when you and your groomsmen were like those minutes where you're like getting shit together. Like, yo, do I look all right? Like that's the vibe I got, but I didn't watch it. I was so enthralled.
Looks terrible
by that. B, we got to get immediately on not letting him fight again, right? To anyone that's seeing anyone who cares about him, right?
That was what I said when you and I were commenting about the videos. He's done. Shouldn't be fighting.
No, but I mean, we know that. So okay. I mean, Ali was done before he fought Larry. Sure. It's like who cares about him? Is he going through a divorce with that girl?
I don't know, man.
Because people were saying horrible things in the comments, and I don't like him, and I wouldn't say anything horrible about, onset dementia or Parkinson's or CTE or whatever it clearly is. But multiple people in the comments of that video, were like, trying to be witty or funny, which is just evil.
Yeah.
But alluding to the fact, like, this is what a divorce will do to you. So I had no idea about that.
I don't know. I'm seeing like, stupid comments about him being on drugs. I don't know if there's any.
I don't know. There's no validity to any of what anyone's saying.
No,
we don't know him, and I don't know his people.
Right.
For us to be like, oh, okay, well, we heard. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's just allegedly, but we heard blank. I got nothing other than a video to look at. What are the things that you run down? A guy that's been in some brutal fights, check. All right, that's there.
Yeah, I mean,
there was
a restraining order filed against him in June. She accused him of assault, choking, abuse.
That's all indicative of trauma.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, that goes back years. I think he.
Oh no, I wasn't making an excuse. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, I know. No, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You give someone the wrong drink, a Coke instead of a Pepsi, and they'll fly off their handle once you're scrambled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I heard it. I want to say I heard like as long as 10 years ago something happened.
Yeah, in Canastota.
Yeah. Yeah. So if that's really the only person that really cares like that in his life, and she's gone, I hope maybe we're just completely off and he was drunk or whacked on something.
Could be. It didn't look good.
It didn't look good.
He doesn't like do a lot of interviews or press outside of when it's fight time. So Correct. It's hard for us to tell.
Correct. He's also adult even when he's doing them. So I don't know how much we'll be able to tell. This isn't an articulate guy when he was fresh and never been hit once. He was fighting cab drivers. So I don't know, he's one of those dudes that sounds punch drunk regardless.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So if he really is, we won't know. Frank Warren has refused to rule out Fury versus Joshua still happening. I don't know. I think people may still want to see it. If he comes back and got a win, who knows? Tyson's got his rematch with Usyk on December 21st, but I fancy him to come through it. This division is alive. Losers fight losers and winners fighting winners. The heavyweight division's never been so lively. I don't remember where you and I stood on that. I believe I said we spoke about this and the potential of it. And were you leaning towards AJ should just stop?
No. I said AJ, Tony Parker may be in play. AJ
Joseph
Wilder.
Parker.
Excuse me, Tony Parker. Yeah, Tony Parker.
Yeah.
He's
Tony
going to fight a
Parker.
basketball player.
Yeah. David Longoria.
Yeah. Speaking of, they're divorced.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Joseph Parker, AJ. I said that would be a good, time to make that fight.
Yeah. I would have watched AJ Wilder had we not just given the bit of news that we did.
Yeah, I mean, if we just caught a bad video, a weird time, and there's something else, then right, and he looks okay, then fine.
Yeah.
No, I don't think AJ's got his wits. His punch resistance sucks, but I'm sure he could make a couple of money-making fights going forward, if he's got to. I mean, he doesn't look it, but he's an old 34. I
don't think that. Look, is there some luster off of it? Of course. I still think Tyson Fury, AJ is a monstrous deal over there.
Sure. People would tune in. Yeah.
Junto Nakatani has welcomed Naoya Inoue's challenge to first fight his brother Takuma in a WBA and WBC bantamweight world title unification fight, then move up and fight him for undisputed at super bantam. Inoue's a funny guy. Without trying to be.
I'm telling you, his brother's like, you fucking
motherfucker.
Now I told you that he doesn't score knockouts, so he brought disgrace on their family. So, he's like, you gotta fight the little guy before you want to step it up. And
I mean, if you're Nakatani, you're like, that's all I gotta do.
Right. I gotta beat your brother up and then I'll beat you up. That shit's old school playground shit.
That's playground shit. Yeah, but I mean,
By the way, I'm picking Nakatani.
Over Inoue's brother or Inoue?
Both of them.
Wow.
Takes out the whole
family. Then they're all disgraced. And
then he goes to the house,
parents up,
and then parents' ass,
and then they all commit harikari because of the stain on the Inoue name in Japan.
That's it. He goes.
Wow.
Yeah, he beats the balls off of the brothers, right?
He definitely does that.
He goes over there. He kicks their dog.
He beats Takuma.
And then
I don't know if you're joking. You would pick Nakatani over.
I'm picking Nakatani
over
both of them.
No, yeah. Wow, that's an exclusive.
I think that
that's a KOTB.
The time and age, the way it's going to match up.
Yeah, it'll line up at that time of his beginning of his decline.
Mm-hmm. I think we've already seen the beginning of his decline.
You're always jumping the gun with this decline on everyone. Everyone's declining. Everyone's declining with you.
We always talk about fighters in their mid-30s, and we're gonna sit here and lie about they're not.
What declining. Is he now? 31?
For that, he's jumped up like 87 divisions. It's gonna have to stop at some point.
I agree.
Yeah, he's 31.
Eddie Hearn has revealed that Turki Al-Sheikh has told them he wants to make the Dubois Anthony Joshua rematch. Hearn added that both AJ and Dubois also want the rematch to take place. So that sort of knocks off two pieces of notes ago. What do you think about that? I think that, I mean, if I'm Dubois, look, there's like a couple of cash cows in that division, and AJ is still one of them. So I'm down to run it back after I slaughtered him. He's already chirping like, I'll look sharper, I'll look better, I'll get him out of there quicker. I have no reason to believe otherwise right now after what we saw. Right. After our discussions on air and off air about his punch resistance, he's now at that point of punch resistance, where he gets touched, dropped, and it's like, yo, I'm totally fine. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Right.
You're just going down when you get. There's the dudes we talk about when we talk about the worst chins of all time and we make jokes and stuff. Like those dudes will be snoring with birdies over their heads.
Yeah.
I can see AJ like a really sturdy jab from Dubois dropping him, and if they run it back.
I can too.
And telling the ref I'm fine, but that's your part. Shot.
I want to put that on for a Pazzi picks that Dubois if they rematch, Dubois knocks him down in the second round. There's but I'm putting this in as a Pazzi picks with a stiff jab.
Okay.
With a power jab, AJ's gonna go down, and I don't think that fight gets out of the third round.
I'm putting in early. It doesn't go past 3 as well, so we're almost identical with the picks. And I won't a power jab if he throws them. You know what I mean? Unless he's trying to load up with the right. So I don't. How do we feel about that? Running it back. I'm not mad at Daniel Dubois because of this is prize fighting. But I'm also not mad because,
man, they got to strike while the iron's hot. I think that they both know that AJ right now still has enough people that'll tune in again.
Absolutely.
And Dubois is probably like, well, no one thought I was going to win that fight.
Right.
So now I want to come on and make a statement. I'll win the fight again and then call a bunch of people out, and it'll lead
and I'm 27, so I'm not in the rush that a lot of these guys are.
Right. And I've already had struggles.
Yeah.
So like worst case scenario, if I lose again, no one expected much of me anyway, and I got 2 monster fucking paydays.
Right.
And then I'm coming
and
for
AJ's saying all
the
right things, in the post fight. In the time since. He like made a little video, you know what I mean? He's good, he's strong, he's not retiring, stuff like that. I don't know, I don't know if they run it back and he loses, where you go from there. Particularly,
you quit.
Well, that's what's going to happen. So we're really talking about like, we're predicting the end of AJ. Then
you go to the island that Junto Nakatani is currently constructing for the
Inoue family.
That's what I'm saying. He'll go.
I wonder if there's other siblings that'll also kick.
It's Junto's going over there to fucking catch wreck.
Yeah, at pets.
I told you, he kicked the dog. The first thing he does when he goes over there.
That's why I said it. Yeah, it's kicking the pooch. Devin Haney has now filed a lawsuit against Ryan Garcia.
Yo, this kid
alleging what a cornball, alleging battery, fraud, and unjust enrichment relating to their fight in April, which was overturned to a no contest after Garcia failed multiple drug tests and was given a 1-year ban. Haney is seeking punitive damages, and the lawsuit alleges Haney suffered damages in that he suffered physical injury, reputational damage, which will amount to millions of dollars, and emotional and mental distress. For a guy a guy and his father who said their intention was to kill Ryan Garcia in the ring pre-fight. These guys are going out. These guys are down bad. Suckers, bro. In the look,
this is straight sucker shit.
Whoever told who, I don't remember who sent it to the other one first, but I said to you, Miguel Cotto, right? Miguel Cotto, Margarito, right? Loaded gloves, supposedly, it wasn't proven that night. He was caught in another fight. Did he sue? He just got his lick back.
That's it.
So that's what old school tough guys.
Chris Algieri sue Conor Benn? He didn't.
No, he was on the gas.
Right. This Devin Haney. By the way,
we can rattle off.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now. He's cooked.
He's done.
That's it. Mentally, he will never come back from this.
Never.
He's gonna get fights again. But I'm telling you right now, Shakur Stevenson beats the brakes off him if they fight. Tank hurts that boy, and I don't care what weight it's at. And I'll say another thing. Haney looks like he's 200 pounds. I don't know if you saw him at the.
Yes, I thought we said this on air. We definitely talked about it privately.
Yeah, we did say it on air. I'm just saying, reiterating, he looks out of shape. And I'm not saying he's sitting there drinking or doing this, doing that.
Neither am I.
But he's at carnivals. Like, why?
I saw him in the gym, and he looked like a monster. You know what I mean? He's just we always bring up the joke.
Done.
This is lightweight.
Yeah,
this
dude
man,
is done.
Look, from before his first loss, from before getting wobbled by an old Linares, I said I got the drop on this kid from people that were in the gym when it happened.
Right.
That Keandre Gibson had him on Queer Street with big gloves and headgear. His chin is trash. I said this when the show first started.
Right.
I definitely said it on the Lost episodes, but I've said it on these. You're absolutely right. You're naming guys who are good. I think a middle of the road guy stops it before it even gets there. I think a solid lower top 10, top 15 guy that's serviceable packs him up. I think you basically, those like freak records be where someone's like 27-5 with one knockout. You're like, yo, I think by mistake you get more than that.
Right.
Like, that will be the only part. When you say someone can't punch, he's gonna have to be in there with someone who punches like our children.
Yo, I thought about this just now. Yeah, these two guys, this Bill Haney constantly talking about he went months just every other sentence was I'm a street guy. I came from the street. Yo, you and your son hop in a car, drive to Ryan Garcia's crib and hop him. Like, I don't understand. Like, yo, if you're a street dude, right? You're suing him? By the way, do you think this holds up in court?
No.
A lot of shit I read, it was like, nah, man. Like,
no, I think the defense eats that case.
It's civil court, it's but I mean
a little bit more, what would the word be? Like, of course, OJ lost in civil court. That's why he died owing the Goldmans all that money.
He's responsible for their death. Right. But what I'm saying is in terms, it's not a criminal case. They didn't file criminal charges. They're suing him like you'd get in a car accident.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So like bodily injury, whatever. He has to prove that like he can't compete at the high level again. And then he had to go
and then he's going to do that.
Correct. So
in order to win this,
I mean, I'm not a lawyer.
You can't
and I'm not trying I didn't stay at a Quality Inn last night. But what I'm saying is, all I'm saying is you like that? I pulled that out.
I did. You pulled that out of the fucking thin air.
If I'm the Haneys and we feel like you cheated or whatever and you fucked me up, like, and you're street dudes,
I'm getting my lick back every way, but with police in court.
Go beat that motherfucker's ass. Like, I don't understand. You grabbed him by his neck. You guys fought. Every face-off, there was a shoving match or this, or someone swung on somebody. I mean, I never heard nothing like this. This shit is crazy to me. I couldn't even believe it. I will say this. And I just thought of this. This may set a precedent going forward for guys cheating. Like, if the Haneys are successful with this lawsuit, right?
Did you see someone that we're very entertained by said something similar?
No.
Handsome Eddie.
Oh, what he said?
Almost verbatim. He almost verbatim to what you just said, setting a precedent. Like, if they were to go, they're going through with it.
Right.
If they were to win,
this may change the game in terms of people cheating. Like, even if someone doesn't get hurt, there's like intent, right? But my mans can't get out of the way of a left hook. That's the bigger problem. And maybe they're not going to go jump him because they know that Ryan Garcia's got, maybe it runs in the family that they can't defend a left hook, and Bill might get slept too. Because he's a fucking bum, that dude. That dude is a fucking cornball. Like I said, episodes upon episodes ago, they made that video where they were together, like out, which is fucking corny to me. Like, yo, let your son go live his life.
Corny, man.
You go out and you get a steak. Let Devin go to like a nightclub or whatever it is that he wants to do. Why are you with him? And they were like on the IG or TikTok live shit, and he was doing the collar pop, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was popping his collar like it was 1999.
Yeah,
you know
man.
Like, I was of course. This dude, like, he had like a rayon or like a silk button up on, and he was like, I was like, gross. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
they are very much the definition of when a corny person or a nerd, or you can be both, somehow gain some type of fame. Either you're an actor, an actress, an athlete, or something, but you never stop being a corny nerd.
Exactly.
You can't inherently change who you are. If you're cool, bro, you was cool when you was broke. You was cool. You could get girls if you didn't have the flyest shit. You could put an outfit together for cheap if you was broke. Like, yo, I'll buy a fresh tee. As long as my kicks is fresh and my blah, 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 blah.
Yo, those
just people who are clowns, bro.
Those
You're just
dressing expensive, like Floyd. They just dress inexpensive. So
like Floyd dresses like the Mandalorian. And I'm like, bro, you look like a weirdo. It doesn't matter that the outfit was 10K.
He goes in there and just sees what's on the mannequin.
Yes.
And he's like,
says,
I'll take that. And then he puts it on and leaves the store.
That's not being cool.
That's what I'm saying.
Cornballs as people. And then Bill Haney, my guy, like the worst thing you could ever do is spend the first few years of your son's career talking about how you're a street dude and then take it to the courts. If y'all just were acting like square nerds, no one would question this.
Right. Yo, every interview was built myself up from the streets. I was in the streets.
Every interview.
All right, man. So, but you're not anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Like, I don't understand. And then you went, now you're doing this? Man, you's a cornball, man. Fuck these dudes. Yeah. I'm tired of the fucking hate. I hope he gets slept. And you know what? Fuck Ryan Garcia, too.
Yeah, of course.
Taking that shit now and now, just planting the seed of doubt, amongst anybody, myself included. But these dudes, man, that shit, he'll never, ever, ever come back at the highest level again. Mark my words.
And there's
his heart is gone. His head is not in it. Like you said, they're taking it to the courts. This dude celebrated, made a video, we criticized him here where he was doing like the brush your shoulders off type of shit, like when they overturned it. And it's like, yo, we all saw you get the balls beaten off of you on TV.
Right. It's a very odd move to be celebrating.
If you want to make a statement, fine. But like the way you celebrated, like, my O is back, my belts are back. Like, we all saw you get the shit kicked out of you, bro.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, bro, there's very little defense of him. We talk about tribalism on this show often, maybe not weekly, but very often. And they're really, people are like, you're cornballs.
Yo, this
of all,
all races, colors, and creeds.
All races, creeds, and colors. Like, y'all are cornballs.
So you're saying the Haneys may bring us together as a nation?
Yes. I think Devin and Bill Haney
cornballs
will unite.
Yo, only cornballs like Devin Haney.
Correct.
Like, use a cornball if you like root for him.
Correct. Agreed. As we predicted, guys, we told you Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach is set for December 14th in Houston. The WBA have now seemingly confirmed. They've announced they've granted
DC, right?
Huh?
It was originally supposed to be like in DC, and then weren't they gonna have
the WBA have announced they've granted special permission for Roach to challenge Davis for his WBA lightweight world title while retaining his WBA super featherweight world title. It's getting to where I predicted it was going to get to. Yo, he's going to be 30 and still having fought.
Yeah. So
Lamont Roach had a great showing a few months back in the summer on Pro Box.
June. Yeah.
At 130 against a limited guy.
At 130 on Pro Box.
Yes.
No offense, Pro Box, but
no, they're great for
but I'm saying, like, it was on Pro Box. And it was at 130.
There is really no
so now they're getting two DC area, Baltimore area, DMV area guys fighting in Houston.
Well, we talked about that. There's
brilliant.
There's these markets, Atlanta, Houston.
Does he do well in Texas?
I don't know,
or they're testing it.
They took him somewhere that I was like, why is he here? I think it was Atlanta. It was the last fight, Atlanta. I want to say that.
Yeah, he's fought in Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean, so I think they're like, what are the biggest urban markets? Let's follow trends regarding music, black music, hip hop, R&B, where Tank is representative of youth culture to boxing fans. So where is shit popping in that respect? You know, they talk about Atlanta being the black Mecca. So all right, what other cities are similar to that? All right, Atlanta, DC they're both from that area. Not having it down there is wild to me.
Right. He fought. Okay, so he fought Barrios in Atlanta. He fought. I'm going. That's how far back I'm going.
Okay, but you're not.
He fought Santa Cruz at the Alamo Dome. He fought Yuriorkis Gamboa in Atlanta. I hear what you're saying. What I'm saying, I'm just reading off why they couldn't make this, because he fought Isaac Cruz in LA. I see what they're doing.
Yeah,
They're trying to find black and Mexican markets.
Correct.
To
so
Brooklyn.
You know, Leo Santa Cruz is going to do well at the Alamo Dome, and you're going to bring your own fans too.
Correct. So this makes less sense to have it in Houston, as what me and you were talking about.
Correct.
So Frank Martin was in Vegas.
But I believe what you're saying is what's happening here. They're testing a market to go, okay, this is another one of the United States' black meccas. You know what I mean? Where there's successful black businesses, successful record labels, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Right. Like Rolly was in Brooklyn. Hector Luis Garcia was at Cap One in DC.
Right. So why this isn't there is I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's get into some reviews. New York City on ESPN and undercards on ESPN Plus.
Very controversial card.
As Mr. Long likes to say, let's go worst to first. I added a couple things to what you did from the prelims, just some notes.
Okay.
Should we do what we normally do? You just cut me off and respond.
Sure.
I'll read my notes. So the card started off on the app. Rohan Polanco, he's from DR, 13-0, 8 KOs. There's a bunch of their prospects, which you and I like to talk about because they are potentially the future stars of the sport. So we get to see whether they're the real deal or they're not. And you brought up something that we're going to get into when we get into the other the main card, with which you're questioning some people, possibly up to a few now. He fought a guy, Marcelino Lopez from Argentina. He's been around forever. 37-4. Has never been down in 40 plus fights. This was at 140. There's people at 140 now. Look, like I picked Rohan Polanco to beat Devin Haney up. 13 fights in, when we're really getting back to that. Polanco throws his shots with bad intentions. Throws a beautiful left hook to the body. Defensively, he uses the shoulder roll and then attempts the Philly shell. It's got to go, B. Are these guys thinking they can all do it? It's got to go. As he's doing it, B, as he's doing the Floyd impersonation, he's pulling straight back.
Right.
So it's like
bending at the waist.
No.
Yeah.
So that's a recipe for disaster.
Sure.
Against real guys. I'm not saying Lopez is a real guy, tough guy, never been hurt, but not the acumen of some guys that are there. Perfect uppercut in the third, drop Lopez at the end of the round. Hurt badly. He walked to the wrong corner. Did you catch this, or were you out?
Yeah.
He was walking to the wrong corner. He took a knee in the fourth as a result of a right hand. I would have stopped it there, B. I don't know if you were thinking that or not.
How old is? I'm looking him up now.
How old is Lopez?
Yeah, it's 38, but like you said, he's been around forever.
Forever, bro. Forever. I would have stopped it. He took a knee in the fourth. He was taking those intelligent veteran knees.
Yeah.
Like not just like, oh shit, I got.
Yeah, I'm getting my ass kicked by a fucking kid.
Yeah.
Mold.
He took a knee again in the 6th. Took another knee. Ref waved it off. Good performance.
I was gonna say, yeah, you gotta wave it off. Yeah.
Good performance from Rohan Polanco. I want to see him again soon, before the end of the year.
He's a big kid too. He's like 5'10".
He is. Yeah. So he's going to 47, 54 at some point.
Sure.
He's, at DR is a little bit tricky too. Like Cuba, we don't know how old he is. They're saying young. I don't know. Tiger Johnson, 13-0, 6 KOs. Yomo Alamo, 22-2, 13 KOs, 140. Tiger Johnson's athletic, good jab, seems to counter well. His power's not real per se. I guess it's enough to keep you honest. He's going to have to rely on that moving forward, and use the jab to stay at the range he wants to be at. Yomo Alamo was hurt. He hurt Tiger Johnson in the 2nd.
Yeah, he's also old and tall.
Yes. But this is the result of not having mustard on your shots. You're not scaring a guy to not walk in.
Right.
Walk in on you, which is what he did. This is the 2nd fight in a row to me that he looked vulnerable.
Yes.
Tiger Johnson.
I don't.
Yomo Alamo gave him hell. He's going to lose soon. So here's my question to you. I wrote this down as a question to you. So he's fighting a 140, B, right?
Yep.
Yomo Alamo just gave you hell. In my opinion, he's going to lose soon. To you, put on your promoter hat. What do? Do you try to secure a fight now with a name guy and cash out? It was a UD for Tiger Johnson. I think the crowd booed him in New York. So I want to know what you do with a guy like this at this stage. You're undefeated. Now you're 14-0. You and I both see what we think we see, which is he's losing against a real guy.
Yeah, I mean they've been pairing him with Shushu at the Garden for his last 3 fights. Okay, so he's fought 3 times in this year at the Garden. Tiger Johnson.
Yeah.
Scored a first round knockout. Then he fought Tariq Zaina, very close on one of the cards. And now this fight, which was very close. I think they'll give him one more shot, Tiger Johnson, meaning
against a guy like Yomo Alamo. Like
if he doesn't impress, they'll just drop him. Yeah, I think
so. He'll get Edgar Berlanga, in your opinion.
Correct. Yeah.
You don't think they'll let him hang around against mid-level guys?
Top rank doesn't do that. Like they will drop you. Again, like, okay, so Xander Zayas, right?
Right.
And again, I just want to real quick just touch on that. What I mean by that, Edgar Berlanga was undefeated.
Yeah.
And they dropped him.
Correct.
Xander Zayas in his next 2 fights, and I'll reiterate this when we go into the Xander Zayas part.
Yeah.
If he doesn't impress and knock people's socks off, he'll get dropped.
He's out of here. Yeah.
It's a Top Rank is a business. This is not. It's more than a promotional company. They are fucking ruthless.
Yeah.
I mean, they were going to drop fucking Bud.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an infamous story.
Right.
And, the owner of the promotion comes out and says, this guy doesn't sell fights. I don't make any money off of his fights.
I lose money on his fights.
Correct.
We've tried everything.
So you're talking about a promotional outfit that's cutthroat, guys. These types of wins that you're eking out against guys and getting hurt against them, like the Rohan Polanco fight. I want to see him again.
So all the stuff that you said, we think he loses soon.
Yes.
I think Top Rank
that's why I said I want the right, left kid to put his promoter hat on and say
what I'm going to say is not on my watch.
Right.
I'm not going to give him a payday to get the shit kicked out of him, and then he's fucking useless to me.
Right. So he fought in September. Does he fight once in December, and then by 2025 he's dropped?
Right. I'd rather just make space for someone else who's going to entertain and win, and that we can eventually build. No one builds no one builds fighters better.
Agreed.
No one promotes fighters better at the top level
Agreed.
No other promotional company is as cutthroat and as ruthless as Top Rank. It is a business. They are your friends one day, and the next day they're not. It's just the way that it is. And you know what? You get paid really well. They have a set, basically like paycheck for you, depending on the level you're at.
Yeah.
We saw it as recently as Shakur Stevenson. Here's what we offered him for 5 fights, which you and I were like, I can't believe he's not taking that.
Correct.
Which I believe it worked out to about average of $3 million per fight.
Correct.
5 fights, $15 million.
Correct. You're correct.
And you and I said, you get out of that deal in 2 years.
Yep.
You made 15 million fucking bucks.
Yep. 7 million a year to
not being a knockout guy.
Right.
You really must believe in yourself, and hats
off.
God bless.
Hats off to him if he proves us wrong. If it's 2026 and we go, yo, this guy just went on a run and bet on himself.
In my opinion, Top Rank pays fair, but they don't overpay. They have a set limit about what they're going to spend unless you're a mega superstar, which is why
we see what overpaying does when you get $3.5 million to fight Rod Salka. Right. What happens to your company?
Right. So Bud was making like between 3.5 and 5.
Yeah.
As the pound for pound best fighter in the world.
Right.
And
certainly even in the earlier years, he was top 5, when you even 5,
I remember he was making like 1.5, 1.75.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great money.
Sure.
I think that Bud is looking at his contemporaries making, 7, 8 to 15 million. And he's going, I'm underpaid.
With companies that you and I are predicting will be swimming in Atlantis.
Right. And I think Top Rank and him butted heads because they go, yeah, but here's our return on your fights. And Bud goes, well, then you're not promoting me right. And they go, no, this is our formula, which is tried and true.
Tried and true. It became a very cyclical argument.
Right. For some reason, you don't sell. Right. I don't sell because you don't do it right.
Right. And then
it's getting you ESPN dates.
Right.
Full stop.
No, absolutely.
So I don't know. I mean, again, it's a business. It's a weird sport like that.
We've talked a million times. We will continue to, probably years after he retires. We get his deal, but we think he's hilarious. A lot of people are just like, nah, he's just quiet. Like Bud has a personality.
Absolutely.
But the perception of the word personality in boxing is Rolly. Floyd. Teofimo, Floyd, like whether you're either being a buffoon, a bad guy, or maybe every now and then someone's just a fucking good guy, like AJ, where you're just like people just like the motherfucker. Well, we do. I'm not speaking for over across the pond. But we're just like AJ's a good guy. He's a good guy. He gives interviews. He's good to he signs autographs. He's good to people. I saw him like in the ring with this handicapped girl, like who like
he does everything right.
He does everything right.
He's a PR guy's wet dream.
Yes.
All right. So
Elvis Rodriguez, 16-1-1, 13 KOs. His only loss was to Kenneth Sims versus Kendo Castaneda, 21-6, 9 KOs, 140. So this is the third 140 pounder in a row. They're looking for the next guy there, or for the guy that's going to fly Devin's head, maybe is what they're looking for. I'd pick Elvis Rodriguez to beat Devin Haney, by the way. At his best, Rodriguez stays on the outside, fires that right hand from a distance, so he's not there to be countered. Stab, jab, downstairs, then was hooking off of it upstairs. Beautiful stuff. Really good stuff. Kept that distance. You and I always talk about too. Yes, but we talk about a guy who's keeping distance, doing beautiful work, and then throws that out the window, B.
Right.
He did not. He kept that. I made it a point to myself to say to you, yo, B, did you notice that he kept that distance?
Yeah.
In my opinion, he should have got Castaneda out of there. Still a good performance. Lopsided UD. Like you said, you are here, especially Top Rank, especially Bob, especially the matchmakers there. Cutthroat, they don't give a fuck. You are here to impress and have people talking about you at the water cooler.
Right. So
all of this that I just said, the knockout is the icing on the cake. And thus far, Polanco in my head is the one I'm going, all right, I'm talking to me and you while I'm watching. Like Polanco, he locked himself up another date or another couple because you won impressively. All right, if he doesn't look amazing next time, you'll still get another one. Elvis Rodriguez absolutely should have stopped Castaneda. He can crack a little bit. He can fight. Elvis Rodriguez. Guys, I know this seems weird. B isn't saying anything back to me, so I think he thinks I'm out of my fucking mind.
No.
But I'd pick Polanco and Rodriguez to beat Devin Haney. They're the type of guys.
They're big 140 pounders, both 5'11" and 5'10". No, I'm going through the card and I'm doing what you asked me to do, and I'm putting my matchmaker
hat on.
And what I'm seeing is Top Rank. What they're doing is they're going to weed out their own guys. So, correct. Like Polanco and Elvis Rodriguez, they may match them, right? Don't have a lot of room for two Dominican guys that are 5'11" junior welterweights, right? We got the next guy you could talk about is Vito Mielnicki and the main event.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, we're gonna get there,
right? What I'm saying is, what I'm doing is while you're talking, I'm looking at the card, going, all right, well, we got this Tiger Johnson, right? So Tiger Johnson, Elvis Rodriguez, and Rohan Polanco are all the same size and the same weight class.
Yeah, so let's get some sort of thing going on there.
That's what I'm saying.
Loser leaves town.
Lose it. It's loser leaves the promotion. And Bob's like, fight each other. And if
right.
Yeah.
Right.
He's fucking 95 years old.
Yeah,
he's still at these fucking fights.
That's wild.
The machine.
That's wild, bro. He might not ever tap. He might outlast me and you.
Yeah, he outlives his fight.
Don is still alive too.
Yeah, I know. It's insane.
Pazzi picks. Is Devin? All right. So remember the big deal they made? Him getting beat the fuck up, knocked all this other stuff off of our plate. He was or is technically still a free agent, Devin Haney.
Yeah.
So you might have a comeback fight, I'm doing air quotes, against a guy, and it would be against a guy like a Rohan Polanco or an Elvis Rodriguez. That's why I'm saying I'd pick them, not because I'm playing matchmaking in my head. Right. They're the type of guy you go, all right, we can't bring back a former unified champ against a guy who's 20 and 30. It's got to be like a guy who's capable, but we'll beat him. But we're confident we'll beat him, you know? And a guy like this, and I think they'll beat him. That's where we're talking about him being cooked.
Right.
This cash flow Diaz, Mario Hernandez. Look, I'm just going to get this out of the way so there's no confusion. I don't like this kid. He appears to jab well and move well. When he throws anything other than the jab, he's awkward. He doesn't reset defensively. Wide stance. You know when a guy misses
obnoxious girlfriend,
obnoxious
coach. What was that about? Settle that shit out in your corner.
I have that here. So look,
and turn it off if you're the fucking broadcast.
Absolutely. You know when someone misses wildly, I'm thinking in my head Wilder, how off balance he would be after he misses.
Yeah.
That's how this kid looks all after he throws anything other than a jab.
Right, and at 5'3", you should have a little bit more coordination than a guy.
Absolutely, he's always wide open for a counter. He's just not fighting guys that can capitalize yet. His coach and the girlfriend are giving him instructions and screaming during the rounds, screaming next to each other,
and oftentimes it's conflicting.
Most of the time,
the coach is saying, "Work the uppercut" because that was working for him. She's like, "Stay on your jab,
stay on your jab."
Was he calling out proper instruction? Was she calling, or they both just saying buzzwords? I mean, this shit's terrible.
No, they were both clueless. You and I refer to this as too many cooks in the kitchen.
Absolutely.
Yo, one thing that we've never brought up, and this might be a first. Not just too many cooks in the kitchen. None of the cooks are good.
Oh no,
we've had other corners where we've gone like, they got Stitch Duran, a cut man who knows boxing, is saying something, and then maybe Freddie Roach, who's an all-time.
I hate that, by the way. Like, if you're the cut man,
no. I agree. What I'm saying is,
I just wanted to say that.
When we would say too many cooks in the kitchen, usually they were people who all knew what they were doing. Just shut the fuck up. Let one guy in between rounds. If you have something to say, you should have one calming voice. If things get,
dude. They have 3 minutes to talk about this before the guy comes back to the corner, right? You can't just say, "Hey, man, all right, I'll tell him that." All right, yeah. I mean,
I was actively getting angry at the girl. Actively.
Me too. I tweeted, "Someone tell Floyd Diaz's girlfriend shut the fuck up."
Yeah,
I tweeted that.
Right.
Shut up.
Look, Hernandez kept coming forward. Diaz kept moving and turning him, so he's in good shape. He knocked Hernandez down in the fifth with an uppercut. Wide UD for Diaz. Look, there's killers at that weight class.
I mean, what loading dock? What loading dock does the other guy work at? You know what I mean?
But look, you're really bringing home the point tonight that you're not in a place over at Top Rank where you're going to get 5 gimmies over mediocre competition, and the guy's a bantam. We got Nakatani there, Takuma in your way, Ryosuke Nishida, Yoshuki Takai.
I mean,
an old chocolatito. Like
I did not put him on here because I don't think he's worth talking about.
I wanted to make it a point to bring up that he's one of these guys that I can see getting either sparked out or dropped.
Got to get dropped, or either one.
So one more before we move into the main event. You didn't have it on here. I just have to talk about it because I'm driving points home. Vito Milnicki, 19-1, 12 KOs events.
I should have put that on here. My bad.
Against Khalil El Haraz, an Arab brother out of Italy. Fighting out of Italy. Look, I've made it known how I feel about Milnicki. It's not going to stop. He is who he is. We've talked about the great white hope trope being a thing of the past. You know how we make jokes about those guys from back in the day. It's in my opinion that it applies here to Vito Milnicki. He will sell tickets. My guess is he will in Jersey, New York, and PA. The way that, remember Thomas Lamana? You remember him?
Yeah.
Cornflake. Yeah.
Cornflake had his own promotion though.
But what I'm saying is they always had him fight out here, and I see mad people just there for him. Yeah. That seems sort of to be what's going on.
Vito's not only the great white hope, he's the great Italian hope who's not even is he Italian?
He's not Italian. Milnicki's Polish or something, bro. It's not Italian.
Yeah, it's like it's a Slavic name.
Yeah,
they did they because the name's Vito, I guess.
Yeah.
But they did a thing for him, like name your top 10 favorite Italian foods or whatever, or top 10. Yes.
Does Paulie Algieri know this kid?
I don't know. I never asked him.
No, I know you don't got to tell me anything personal. I just didn't know if that, you know.
And something stood out. He called a cannoli a canole.
Canole.
I hate when people say that. It's cannoli.
With that word or anything. Like you hate Monagot, you hate Bust a truck. Oh, you hate me for this?
No, not you. Cannoli. You should pronounce the word right. But it was like.
Well, you say Cavatelli? That's
it's what? No, I do it incorrectly too. Like like
So now you got a problem with a ganon all of a sudden.
I don't like saying ganon. It's cannoli.
I don't think you don't like this kid. What do you think about that?
I don't like his jab. I'll tell you that much.
So look, I have a point to make that's directly contradicting everything you said that I agreed with. So I'm not just contradicting you. I'm correct. I'm contradicting myself. We're talking about this Top Rank. You stink it out. You're out of here. They're absolutely protecting this kid.
Sure.
He is not part of that other part of this convo of them. Not
because it's marketable.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Look,
but Vin, they'll give him a couple shots, and then they'll send the lamb off to the lions. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. Look,
how old is he? 22,
21, maybe
21. Okay.
Yeah. Look, man. I don't. He was in there. This guy had nothing for him, I didn't find him to be exciting against the guy that was a no-hoper.
And
I find myself on the phone by the third round, like playing
all
with my phone.
All the guy did was come forward. He was a muscle guy. All he did was come forward, and all Vito had to do was jab the shit out of him, and he didn't, and he couldn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a good gas tank, Vito. Someone will probably write it and tell me he does. I
like
just
that.
I'm not really ever impressed. I don't really, I don't know, man. I don't see this going much longer. You do?
Yeah. I think it's just tomato cans. I think he's a ticket seller. You're bringing home the fact that Top Rank is a business. I think he fights on every East Coast card and not West Coast cards. I think they keep on. Look, hey, another thing, this fight wasn't close. One of the judges had it 95-95. That's criminal. And I don't think Vito Mielnicki's good, but that's wild.
I didn't even realize. Yeah, it was a majority decision, right?
It's just really wild when you can't look like incredible against low level competition. And I'm looking at my phone.
Yeah,
in the third round,
he's got to do something to make it more fun. He's not fun to watch. I don't think.
No, at all.
You know, in the past, since they're marketing him as an Italian kid,
yeah.
In the past, you either get a flashy guy with a great personality, I guess you get Vito Antuofermo too. But Vito Antuofermo had a great body, could mix it up a bit, was
it's also 40 plus years ago.
Right. But what I'm saying was quick. Paulie obviously not a puncher, but fast, quick, brash, abrasive, skillful.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Great promo.
Boom, boom, tons of energy.
Vinny Pazienza.
Right. Vinny Pazienza, tons of energy. Right. So the Italians of the past Arturo Gatti.
Yeah.
We don't have to say, goes without saying,
right.
Tons of excitement. The Italian fighters were always an exciting bunch, whether they could punch or not. Right.
Yeah, of course.
What the fuck are we doing here? He's not. This kid's the cure for insomnia.
Mielnicki's not by his name, so you gotta. I want you to investigate this.
Right. I mean, this kid makes fucking, Zerto at 68 look like,
Wow, Zordo's catching strays. The poor bastard didn't do anything and just took.
Bored me to death, is what he did.
Shushu Carrington versus Suleiman Sagawa, featherweight. No jab from Shushu, none.
Was he befuddled by how did you score this? We talked about this and then we stopped.
96-94, Suleiman Sagawa.
You had Suleiman winning.
Correct.
See, I had Carrington winning.
Okay.
I had Carrington losing the court of public appeal, but I actually had him winning by rounds.
Understood. I don't think you're crazy for thinking that.
This to me is a case of when a guy underperforms and a guy overperforms and they're in the same fight.
Yep.
Shushu looked like shit. He looked lethargic. He looked
slow.
Confused. Sagawa came to win. He did not come to be an opponent. Hats off to Suleiman Sagawa for getting on the big stage at the Garden on TV.
I hope he
gets another fight.
Me too.
Actually, they should make this a rematch. They won't
but they should.
I don't know if Bruce Carrington. You know what? I do want to go through his resume and see how many southpaws he's fought because he looked fucking lost. When he did let his hands go, he was successful.
Yeah, they're the rounds I gave him. They're the 4 rounds I gave him when he was moving.
He let his hands go. I don't know if at 27.
Well,
he's 27, folks.
Look, what's it called? You always remember, B, when you go back to something, not a flashback. What's it called?
Callback?
Call back to you last week, making it a point to remind me, yo, Shushu's 27, bro, because I was talking like he was 19.
Not a kid.
So yo, here I wrote the word you, meaning you, B. You made an important point last week. He's 27. If he was 21, I'd say, young kid needs fights like this. You need fights like this. Oh, yo, I learned. I took a lot away from this. Right. I'm not mad at this type of fight over a 21-year-old. But a 27-year-old who doesn't have 4 or 5 years to develop, look, man, I also wanted – I had Sagawa winning, but he had a guy in front of him in Shushu that was doing nothing. And he could have absolutely stepped on the gas. It's why I'm not mad at your card. And it's why I'm not mad that you had him nicking it, meaning Shushu. Yeah. Because there were certain times where I'm going, what's Sagawa doing? Scores, someone had it a judge had it a draw. And they had it 97-93 twice for Shushu. To me, that's a bad scorecard. I'm not getting into robbery shit with air. It's just a bad card. 7 rounds to 3 is a bad card. I'm assuming you had it 6-4 for Shushu. Yeah. I mean, I know it's only 1 round, but you couldn't have given him another one, could you, B?
I don't think so. I'm looking now. Sorry, I just wanted to see this. So he fought Bernard Torres, Southpaw. Yeah, recently, 2 fights ago. I'm just trying to go through some of this because
are you trying to make an excuse for him?
No, I'm trying to say that I was gonna make not an excuse.
No. I didn't mean it, ball busting. I just meant like, are you?
No. I meant the opposite of an excuse. Like they got a problem. Top Rank has a problem on their hands that this guy is this confused by a southpaw, because he looked to me like when a fighter is confused by a guy he's never seen that style before. I didn't see Sagawa doing anything that was otherworldly that would confuse you.
That's why I wrote what I wrote.
It was bizarre. I think you want to know what I think? I think it's probably too many camps making this weight feather at 27, and he probably can't make the weight anymore.
I know that we don't need to say this, and I know when you said I didn't even fucking write this fight down because it doesn't matter, it was a waste of the cash flow kid was a waste of probably 90 seconds. Oof. But I'm only saying this because he was there at his last fight and he's got his name in his mouth. Shushu calling out Inoue, and Inoue was the last Shushu. This isn't hyperbole. He wouldn't make it out of the first round against Inoue.
Not the guy we saw on Saturday or Friday. Not that guy. And
not that guy.
They keep asking him. All right.
Are you giving him a furlough? Are you giving him
No. I think that they got a big fucking problem on their hands. And this is a hometown guy who everyone loves. And I think they have a big fucking problem on their hands.
He's a likable kid, well-spoken, great story. I love Shushu as a human being.
I'm going to say that
we were very, 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 very big Shushu fans. So
everybody is. I've been watching this.
What the fuck is happening in this fight?
I've been watching him at local tournaments, for a long time.
Yeah.
So, and his story is incredible. It's incredibly sad, heartbreaking story.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
Right.
Is this a big enough of a problem that you think this is who he is? No. They're not there yet. No way.
This is who he is. He'll have to change my mind. But yes, I think.
Well, we're going to get into somebody next who is in the same situation with you. So what do you do with Shushu? Do you bring him back in December and see what happens?
You got to bring him back
and try to
bring him back against a lesser guy at a higher weight. That's what I would do.
You and I both think they should run it back. You and I both know they're not going to.
They're not going
We're just putting that out as the show. It's knock them out the box, what we would want. We have promotional hats on. We'd like to see them run it back. If you're Shushu, you want to get your lick back. If you're Sagawa, you're like, I want my win. I think I won.
Yeah, I mean, Shushu's ranked top 20 in the division. So forget what I just said about moving up. He's got to come back at feather and see what he can do. Maybe he had a bad
see it done before. Right. I'd like to see it before the end of the year. Okay.
Maybe June to September for him wasn't great. Being that he's at every event, you know what I mean? Maybe June to September wasn't a great idea for him.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. All right.
Look, you after Xander Zayas' last performance, you'd had it. He peaked to you. This is who he is. Was it Dennis Green? We are who they thought they were. Was it Dennis Green?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what you said. I'm gonna read a little bit of what I wrote down regarding Xander Zayas versus Sosa. Zayas was jabbing well, hard jab, not a rangefinder, putting a nice right hand behind it, digging downstairs. Sosa came to fight, which gave Zayas some openings, and he took advantage, which Teixeira wasn't doing, which was partially why it was a stink fest. I know some guys are iron-chinned, B, and extra tough, but to me, special fighters, they get those guys out of there and find a way. And that's a nod to what you said last episode and how you feel about him. It was a UD, 100-90 on all three cards. I thought he won every round, but I'll reiterate. There are iron chin guys, extra tough guys. And the special kids, the special guy. Look, I mean, had Chavez ever been hurt before Oscar did him dirty?
Zayas, hang on. Zayas is like a top 15 ranked guy, right? He's just getting from like prospect to contender status, right?
Well, are you talking where we have him ranked or the sanctioning bodies?
Sanctioning bodies.
Sanctioning bodies have him all in the top 10. All three of them. He's in the top 10.
I think that's crazy. Okay.
It's
the point I was making is
someone has him number 3.
Sosa's like 100th ranked guy.
Yeah. I'm just my positive notes are iron chin and tough. That's
Zayas should have, if not knocked him out, which fine, even if you don't knock him out, should overwhelm him so much that the referee or corner stops.
I think that's what historically special guys, when they were moving a guy like Oscar up, and they put him in, and it's not an undefeated champion, but it's a fucking iron-chinned goon.
Yeah,
it's never even been buzzed, and this guy's, and you'd walk through him. Tito, you're in a prime Tito, in there with a tough guy who's never been hurt, let alone down, 3rd round knockout. That's something historically in the sport. You look at, you go, yo, he mowed down that guy. No one mows down that guy.
Right.
And Zayas is not doing that. I think he looked good, but if he's their hope for the next Goto, then I'm with you. If they're going to do that with him, I don't think you agree with me. What I think they're going to do with Milnicki, and you think, they're not giving guys any sort of furlough or any wiggle room. You're out of here. I think Bob is like, we got New York, we got the island. He's beating these guys. I think he fights a real guy. The post-fight interview, he said a top 5 guy. I think the top 5 guys at 154 demolish him.
Yo también.
Madrimov.
No, I think these guys beat the shit out of him. I was saying it last week. I said everyone all the way down to Charles Conwell.
Yeah, I think.
Charles Conwell beats him.
Who's the kid? Brandon Adams might beat him.
Right. We said Brandon Adams last week.
Yeah. No, but like B, I think he looks good doing what he's doing. He was in control. He shut out the guy. So this is where it gets into someone's head's probably exploding now, saying we're picking nits, and it's like, okay, but guys, understand, and B, I don't know if you agree with me when I said what I said, because it was very much just my opinion. I didn't mean to speak for you. I think special guys get guys like Sosa out of there.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean they're not tough. They are iron chin. They have never been hurt.
That was the point I was making when I'm saying, like, this is a top 10 or 15 guy right now fighting a top 100 guy, a guy hovering around 100th in the division.
Sure. Well, yeah.
This is, if you're elite, you're in the top 10 of the division.
Yeah.
You beat that guy.
Yeah, you're one of the greatest fighters in the world. Even if we don't agree with him being top 10. If he's top 20, he's still one of the best fighters in the world.
Right. You beat the shit out of the guy who's ranked with the 100th ranked journeyman. You stopped that guy.
Right. That's worrisome to me. You know, when it comes to
and
him.
And what I was going to say was, this is what I'm saying. I think Xander Zayas' next 2 or 3 fights are, as you put it a bunch of episodes ago, an audition. Spotlight's on you, buddy. We got nowhere to move you. You're in a tough division. It's either you show us something and we'll try to make a big fight where we can make some money off of you, or you got to go. Because I don't think they're in it to lose.
I think that
I think they're going to make it, and I think they're going to make him and Vito Mielnicki soon.
You predicted that before.
Yeah.
He absolutely beats Mielnicki up, and then I'm back to okay. Now what? That wasn't that's an East Coast. Everyone will show up payday for apparently a Paisan and a Rican. Everyone will show up for that. You know what I mean? Yeah. You do that at the Garden, the small room. You sell it out, the Felt Forum, right? That's the what's it called? Hulu or something now?
The theater, yeah.
The theater at Madison Garden. It was the Felt Forum, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That was the Felt Forum, correct.
I don't think they're that far away from making that fight. I think that happens in 2025.
I agree.
They cash. Mielnicki gets beat up, then that sets up a real guy at 54, and then Zayas. So I think they're 2 guys that are very young at 54 are both demolished within a calendar year from right now. I think you're right. I think they make Mielnicki and Zayas. Zayas beats him up. Then Zayas goes on to fight one of these maniacs you and I keep talking about at 54 because they're all mental cases. The Virgil Ortiz, who
right? I mean, it's so fucking. You're gonna fight
Boachuk. Boachuk will mow him down tomorrow.
That's it.
So will Madrimov, and they just both lost. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they just both lost.
Right,
and they'll destroy him. Then Bud is gonna do what Bud's gonna do. We have no idea. Virgil Ortiz, there's goons. They're all goons there. I think they protect him longer than you think. Longer than you think Top Rank is willing to protect a guy. I think they protect Mielnicki and Zayas.
Okay.
As long as they can for their version of protection.
Would they be able to get Fundora? I think Fundora beats him. Tim Tszyu beats him. Murtalazayev.
Tim Tszyu would hurt Xander Zayas.
I think what we said last week.
The guy that Timmy Tszyu's about to fight will destroy Mielnicki and Zayas.
Murtalazayev.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that psycho.
That's got to be what? At least 6, 7 guys deep?
That's what I'm saying, dude. What are you going to do with this kid?
Yeah. He's so young that I guess you wait out 60. So that's what I think they do.
It's so weird that I'm not impressed with a UD.
A shutout. Forget a UD. A shutout.
Right. And I'm just kind of like, whatever. Maybe I'm a spoiled brat.
Nah, you're not. I get it. This coming weekend, we've been having a lot of Friday night fights.
Yeah.
Big question for you: do we know?
How do you say
Alam
Kanuli?
No, that's how you don't even say the L and the Y.
Alam Kanu.
No, right. It's like Kalev. It's like Alam Kalev.
Oh,
like one of them gimmicks where you're like, that's not even there.
Yeah, what is this fucking magic? How did you come up with that?
Right. So here's a question, B. This is in Sydney, Australia. Are we getting it a weird time, or is it going to be Saturday afternoon there?
I was going to ask you, Mr. International.
All right, here's my guess. It's in Sydney in the afternoon on Saturday for them.
For them, Friday night for us.
Friday night here. It's my guess. Guys, look it up. You know, it is for
good day, mate.
It is for a belt.
Think of it, Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah.
Put another shrimp on the barbecue.
Remember when Janibek almost croaked making weight? That was a unification. So we would have had it.
Was that against this guy?
No.
Oh.
No. Andre Mikhailovich, I don't know much about him. We've been talking about.
I don't know Mikhailovich.
No.
I love saying his name though.
It fell apart very quickly, middleweight. So that's why I'm saying they're gonna protect Xander Zayas, and then he'll go up to 160 because he's a really big kid, and it'll be a ghost town there.
Passy promoter.
He'll get a belt. He'll get a belt up there. You know, if what we predict doesn't happen, the Milnicki fight, and then one of these mental patients at 54 that'll cut through him like a hot knife through butter, move him up to 60, where cab drivers have belts. Janibek's the only guy with, I'm not even going to call him a name, but someone who we even know exists. He's not even good.
I think he's overrated.
Who's this Mikhailovich? Have you looked him up? Do you have it in front of you?
I wanted to do it.
Has he fought anyone? What's his record? I don't think he's left wherever he's from, the Eastern Bloc. He's probably a goon. Does he look like Wolverine? I don't know.
No, actually, we're very wrong about him.
All right.
He's a baby face.
Okay. So there's number one wrong.
And he lives in New Zealand.
Okay.
So listen, he left Bullet Factory when he was 7 months old. My mother, she sent me on ship. I wind up in New Zealand.
He's swim.
She mailed me in boxing glove. She did not have box to send me, so she put me in boxing glove.
This is very dark. It's getting very dark.
This is why I box for my mom. I've never met her. Only written letter every 10 years.
We talked about Ryan Rosinski, didn't we, last week?
Yeah, I guess the fight never popped off.
Nope. And he's like just devastated. I wrote him a little note. Like the dude pulled out. Like the style that he fights is that very old school Marciano strength brawler, and people don't want no parts of that.
Punching in your arms and your elbows.
So that guy bailed last minute, and he's just like, yo, anyone listening? I talked to Ryan on IG. I sent him, a note before the fight. It fell through. I sent him one after that. He literally wrote, I'm so heartbroken. I'm seriously contemplating going back to being a laborer. And they're just breaking this kid's heart. Get him on one of those fucking Riyadh season cards, B, You
want me to get him on it?
No, someone should.
I'll talk to Turk.
We'll talk to this Fadi. We got to talk to him and get Rosinski on there. Well, the kid's a goon. He can punch.
This Fadi still hasn't sent us the chopper.
Yeah, I told him. I told him when he was in London, send that jet over here.
He'll hop on it.
Yeah.
Stop by me first. Come down, scoop you, and
what's
then go.
The super fast plane that crashed? So we
Concorde.
Use it. Yeah, send us the new version of the Concorde. That's like an hour.
Do they have one?
I mean, something exists like an updated,
like a fast super jet.
Yeah,
that thing used to break the sound barrier over my house when I was a kid.
Did it?
Yeah. Because it flew out of Kennedy.
Right. It was they were doing it in like 47 minutes from like JFK to Europe.
It was 3 hours. It's 3 hours.
I want to say like by the time
going to Florida.
No, I think by the time they were done, but like before the crash, people were saying it was like an hour.
You're bugging. Get out.
I swear to God, bro.
Yeah, you time travel if you go that fast. You break up.
So are you telling me if Fadi sends this, we can go back and watch the Dark Destroyer fight?
Yo,
we can watch Nigel Benn.
That's a callback to these guys happening in the DeLorean with Doc Brown.
Right.
Right. What do we? So we got Janibek on Friday.
Yeah, you're not telling me nothing about this Mikhailovich. Did he fight anyone?
I just told you.
You told me his mom put him in a box and sent him to New Zealand. That's what you told me.
In a boxing glove.
Yeah, that's helping me out here. I don't think he ever fought out of New Zealand.
No.
I'm not being funny. So automatically, I think when I did look,
he fought, like that Oceania.
Yeah,
everything's in
that part of the world.
Yeah, like Eventon FIDA Stadium.
Is
North
he ranked?
Shore. They got Box Rec.
Yeah,
which they use an algorithm.
Yeah,
they have him like in the top 25. So no, not really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Janibek's very good. I don't even at this point, I don't know that his power's real. I don't know if this is a Kazakhstan Edgar Berlanga thing where you're just like, well, you put the right people in front of him, he's gonna knock him down.
Yeah,
I don't know what's his record.
He's undefeated. He's undefeated. 21-0, 13 knockouts. He's not gonna win this fight.
Yeah, I say Janibek gets him out of there in 7.
Billy, you alive?
He's dead.
Shit.
Our producer died, guys.
Oh boy.
I know.
All right.
He made for number. We lost Dikembe, we lost this Pete Rose, we lost KK, and now Billy's dead. Look.
Oh, there he comes.
He's sloshed.
I'm not dead or sloshed.
What were you doing?
What was the question?
Well,
Do we have a line for Janibek? Andre Mikhailovich.
What are you over there multitasking?
Janibek is minus 1,000.
What about rounds?
I don't have any rounds yet.
Jesus Christ. All right. I take Janibek by stoppage in the 8th, just to be different from Pazzi by a round.
I'm gonna try to fucking find.
So Vin, to your point, and to you're correct. Our guy Mikhailovich.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he's ever fought outside of Australia or New Zealand. What are you looking for?
Okay. I was because I've been able to find over unders, whereas Billy doesn't.
Why are you trying to make me look bad?
Over under of 5.5 rounds. That's halfway through the 6th.
This kid Paz founded it. What? Jesus. I think this Paz. You know what it is, Billy? This Paz just he's just yelling out the window to the bookmaker that lives behind him. And he's like, "Oh, this fast
Eddie's right next door.
This friend he has, right, that takes betting tips from him.
Right.
That's just the thumb breaker that lives behind him over there.
Why do I even participate? You read the mail. Vinny's got the lines. You guys don't need me.
Some people must be taking just to play with a couple of dollars, Mikhailovich, because it started at minus 1,600. And Billy said it's minus.
Oh, that New Zealand money came in late.
Right.
Yeah,
that New Zealand, Australia, Oceanic
Oceania
came in late. Billy, we have to check back. The only thing you're touching on this is over under, Billy. You don't need that. How about Nick Ball, Ronnie Rios? What do you think here, Brendan? I think Nick Ball knocks Ronnie Rios out. I'm actually shocked they made this fight. That's how much I don't think Ronnie Rios deserves a title shot.
MJ kicked his ass
like 2 fights ago.
Yeah,
packed him up. So why this is happening, I was trying to figure out, was this a late replacement? But it wasn't. So if they're giving Nick Ball a gimme, then he better be in tough next. I'll tell you that.
Doesn't Nick Ball have a belt?
Yeah.
So was Ronnie Rios a mandatory for?
There's no way.
Nick the Wrecking Ball. Oh man. All right. So he's coming off a Ray Ford win. I don't think he has a belt. Chens. WBC World Feather.
What happened in that Ray Vargas fight where you were ready to rip your hair out of your head for how Ray Vargas fought? That was for a belt. Was it a draw?
It was a draw.
So he got out of there with his belt. That's the belt I thought he had. My bad.
Okay.
My bad.
Yeah. Then he beats Ray Ford, and now he's fighting Ron. This seems like a step down. All right. It's in Liverpool.
Anything here, Irish Billy? Because he's knocking this motherfucker out.
6.5 rounds. Minus 1,000.
Shit.
Nick Ball. Brutal knockout in the 8th.
Brutal.
Brutal.
That coffee just hit.
This Rios isn't going to be able to keep him off him.
All right. Fuck. I think it's going to be a stoppage in the 10th. This little pizza maker, Nick Ball.
Uh-huh.
The Liverpoolian pizza maker.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what he looks like to me.
Irish William, do you have the ESPN Plus app?
I do.
Nick the Wrecking Ball.
Because the Friday night John you'll be able to watch. You don't have the Zone because there's nothing on that appeals to you.
That's only going to be on the Plus Friday night. They're not going to give it to us on the main event.
I don't think so, B. We're
stupid.
Also not locked in on the fact that I'm right about when it is.
Yeah, we never know when this is going to happen.
Shit could be on at 8 in the morning.
I hope not. All right. So, William, how'd you do last week with the bets?
Last week I was a little bit busy. I didn't get the chance to put them in.
Oh my God! We have a whole segment. We have a whole segment dedicated called. Look, it says it right on the schedule. It says Billy Bets.
I told you.
Listen, if you don't bet on boxing, I want to know.
He thinks he's what? You think you're what?
I think I'm pretty useless to this podcast.
Well, I want to hear about your scratch-off success. Then
he wants out.
He does want out.
He wants out.
Well,
that hurt your feelings?
Yeah. Show me how to work this.
Friday at 5 a.m. Get the fuck
That's when
out
this is happening?
Oh, I could catch that easy.
Yeah, you can. Billy will be all charged up with kids crawling on his head.
I'll let you guys know what happens.
Yeah. Jeez, that's crazy. I'll be at work.
B, that's brutal. I'm going to have to text you what's happening.
Yeah, I may throw it on in the truck.
B, Billy, are both boys in school?
Yeah, but Leo's only doing half day.
Okay. Because the reason I brought it up is because it says 5 on ESPN Plus. So my guess is main event, maybe 7 or 8.
Right.
So yeah. I don't know where you're at there. What kid's crawling on your head and which one's out of the house. But I think laying some straddle makes a little Friday morning to start off the weekend a little funner.
It's more better.
More funner.
I'll be texting you.
We got mail from our old pal AV Julian. It's a typical AV Julian long one. My man likes to write Bibles, but so we got some time. It was a short episode, so I'll read his full published report here. He says it's also very relevant to this episode. He says, "Peace, gang. What's up, AV? I was immediately sold on the Abdullah Mason ripoff, but Shushu not so much. And Friday night affirmed my skepticism. I hope he grows from this. He squeaked it out with a majority decision and did a couple of fantastically unearned showboating shuffles and taunts along the way. Okay. So he doesn't like Shushu. He's Zayas, on the other hand, has convinced me.
Wait, did you say something about Abdullah Mason?
He's okay. So he says, I was immediately sold on the Abdullah Mason ripoff.
Oh,
no, I'm sorry. I read this wrong. Like with fucking, he said he was immediately sold on Abdullah Mason off rip, but Shushu, not so much. I read that wrong. His English is proper. My fucking dyslexia kicked in.
Because I was like, hold on a second.
I thought he was calling Shushu an Abdullah Mason ripoff.
Even though you read it wrong, I thought he was bigging up Abdullah Mason. I agree with you, Julian. That's my guy.
So he says, Zayas, on the other hand, has convinced me. He performed extremely well and demonstrated a fine ability to commit proper, effective adjustments against an equal or greater caliber challenger as his Brooklynite stablemate. The kid is ready in my book. Side note, has Berlanga since been disbanded from Terror Squad? His jewelry would implicate otherwise, but I wasn't sure. I don't think so.
No,
I think
Joe fully believes that this guy is
the second coming.
Julian, we both kind of disagree with you when it comes to Xander Zayas.
Yeah.
As I said, it is my belief that special fighters get guys out of there like that.
Julian shares the same sentiment as a lot of my friends who we always discuss the fights after. That really, I think me and you are in the minority of how we feel about Xander Zayas.
There's a couple people that are calling a couple of our views of contenders / prospects. We're bugging when we say we don't see it. It's not there.
I like it.
I do too. You know why I like it? Because when we're right, it's really going to be. It's going to be sweet.
That's when those people should send the jet. You know. And and I'm not saying it's foddy. What I'm saying is when we're right,
correct,
it'll resonate.
Right.
And I don't know who's going to send the jet.
The reverberations will go all through boxing, and someone
sends the jet.
It could be this Eddie. It could be this Aaron.
It could be Bob.
It could be right.
What if Bob picked us up in a limo? I bet Bob's got like an old limo.
Well, you're probably near this Bob. This Bob probably lives on the island somewhere.
Bob doesn't have a home. He's a Rolling Stone.
He's probably got a spot in the Hamptons. They got to drive me. They got to get me alone. Then I got to drive with a limo alone.
That's kind of dope, though. You get like in Big, you're playing with the TV.
No, this Irish Billy's got to go.
You're playing with the colored TV. Billy won't go. Fall asleep. He says he doesn't even want to do the show anymore.
I know.
All right. So Julian also dives in on Haney. He says, and the fact the same Haney who ritualistically shoved Ryan in face-offs, photo ops, and public areas outside the ring, the same Haney who swings on carnies for teasing him because he couldn't ring the bell on a high striker, the same Haney whose father repeatedly stated he was sending his son to kill Ryan, this is what Paz said earlier in the show, is now suing him for battery, is the quintessence of laughable. That's a great word. I look forward to that suit backfiring in spectacular fashion. One love, Knocker Nation. Thanks, AV.
I do too.
AV's too. The problem is I'm too dumb to read AV's well-written letters.
Yeah, you're a moron.
I am. Sorry, AV, for butchering this beautiful piece of literature. AV,
I believe
AV may have a DeLorean and seem to predict our show before our show came out because this was a very he wrote this on Saturday.
Right.
So we're recording Monday night. This is a very it's a very well written letter. And
why don't you just hire AV if he's so good at writing these things?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. This guy,
we're getting a resignation letter. I know. What do we do to him?
What are you so resentful about?
I'm not resentful.
He's being very mean.
I'm just a little fired up. That's all.
About what? Why? Well,
probably the Eagles.
Yeah, maybe if you participated in the show a little bit, you get some of that aggression out instead of that.
I think he's angry about
pushing it all down. Though. What happened with the Eagles? It's baseball season.
Let's move on to the next subject.
I'm not even watching football yet. It's baseball season, and both of our teams are in the playoff race.
You're one of those.
Billy said Billy asked me if I was ready for Red October.
I don't know what that is either.
When
now we're going to have some concur. There's going to be a Monday night baseball game, and we're going to be having to have a discussion.
Right.
Which I like. All right. You can find me at the Killer B24 on Twitter, at I_no_that_kid on IG. Find us at KOTB Boxing on IG, at KOTB Podcast on YouTube. Write us at KOTB Boxing and Gmail. Vinny.
JMTstore.com for the Knock 'em Out the Box shirts. We got our balls busted the first time around during COVID about not having enough sizes. I think they're from medium to 4X. So we don't want to, no baller boosts right now. It's medium, large, XL, 2X, 3X, 4X. Go cop them, JMTstore.com. On Twitter, at Vinny_Paz. On Instagram, at BoxCutterPazzy. JMTstore.com for everything else, including the KEOTB t-shirts. And this Vinny vacation long is going to be gone again. So I'll be holding it down Dolo next week. Maybe we'll let him cut a little promo predicting the fights. Maybe we won't, Billy. You know what I'm saying?
We'll make that decision.
We'll make that game time decision.
Billy to quit over here is are you
Billy to quit?
Yeah, you gonna do the show or what?
I'll be there next week.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, Pez. He doesn't like that I'm stealing his thunder over here. He wants to be the co-host with the
Billy. Is there going to be a Phillies game on in the background next week? Do we know we have? Did we get the bye?
I know. Yeah, we have the bye. I think we start Saturday. Saturday would be game 1. So Monday might be a night off. Actually,
yeah, it might go It might go Saturday, Sunday off, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off there. Yeah. All right, guys. We'll talk to you all next week.
Say good night, Billy.
Good night, Billy.